Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Front Row News. I'm Jeremy Geckner with the Front Row Movie Reviews, and this is your weekly news show where we break down the biggest headlines in as fast a fashion as we can. It was a pretty big news week for a couple of big topics, but kind of light overall. But let's get right into it with the first story that we have. Last week it was a new trailer for Marvel's Black Panther, which is going to be the next film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe after November's Thor Ragnarok. And I gotta tell you, this thing directed by Ryan Coogler, starring Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa the Black Panther, the King of Wakanda. Man, this trailer looks really cool. Once again, Marvel uses some really great music to underscore what's going on with the drama of this. It looks like it's going to be a fantastically awesome fight between Michael B. Jordan and Chadwick Boseman, two titanic African-American actors working today, and the rest of this cast list is also incredibly stacked. The action sequences look like they're going to be like in tune with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but kind of still unlike anything we've seen before. I literally cannot wait for February to get here so that we can see the next installment here, and so that we can get the first ever person on film, the first solo film for the Black Panther in the Marvel Universe. I think this movie is absolutely going to crush it. Staying in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the president of Marvel Entertainment, Kevin Feige, left open a few new possibilities for what a Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe might look like after the fourth Avengers film. Now, he also put out there that there's not really going to be phases as it has been in the past for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but there's going to be a lot of changes in that the MCU is going to look very different. And one possibility he specifically called out was the thought of a female Thor movie coming to the MCU. Now, why is this big? Well, it'd be really cool for a diversity standpoint, but also because the female Thor, Jane Foster, is who is in the comic book continuity right now. The son of Odin isn't actually the worthy one in the comics right now. So this would be a really cool meshing and melding of what's really currently happening in the comic book world with what's happening in the MCU world. So personally, I would love to see it. Don't know if they're going to go the Jane Foster route, though, as Natalie Portman doesn't have the best relationship still with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Not to be outdone by the Marvel Cinematic Universe this week, Josh Boone released the first trailer for his new Mutants film. This is in the X-Men Fox continuity of films, and it is the first of what really they're calling the first of the superhero horror films. This trailer was really great. It had some creepy moments, and it really does look like they're going to go with a lot more of the personalized character drama over some of the big action spectacle set pieces that have become known for some of these X-Men movies. Now, also revealed this week, though, Josh Boone said that this movie, The New Mutants, is the first in a proposed trilogy of mutant horror-based films in the X-Men continuity. Now, that's really exciting to me, being a horror film buff, but it's also something we haven't seen out of the superhero genre before. So I'm really excited to see the possibilities of what a horror-based superhero film could hold for the future of the genre. On the lighter side of things, it was revealed this week that the Addams Family is coming back to feature film, this time in an animated feature from the co-director of Sausage Party, Conrad Vernon. Now, a couple of things come to mind here. One, Sausage Party director, very interesting. I mean, at the very least, that film was drawn and had a pretty good story very well there, so I don't know, maybe this is a pretty good choice. But also, this is an interesting, bold choice because, as many people don't know, the Addams Family started out as a newspaper cartoon short. So it's going to be kind of interesting. Maybe they can get a little bit of that old feel for the Addams Family and maybe get a little bit more of that macabre sense from what that comic strip had. The films with Raul Julia and Angelica Houston and Christopher Lloyd, those are all good and well, but they also kind of play with a more Tim Burton-y style. This can maybe go and capture a little bit more of what Charles Addams originally wrote in those comic strips way back when. And closing out the news segments this week, it was revealed the title of Daniel Day-Lewis's last film for director Paul Thomas Anderson will be called Phantom Thread. Now, this is described as a thriller set in the fashion world of the 1970s. Now, I don't know what that means, but if it's Paul Thomas Anderson and it's Daniel Day-Lewis and it's a movie about the fashion industry, I've got to see what that's about, let alone the fact that Daniel Day-Lewis has now officially retired from acting, and I still think he is the greatest living actor that we have in our generation now. And if this is really his last performance on film, I have to see what this mega actor who has delivered so many iconic performances and so many award-worthy and winning performances has to offer in his last on-film role. That's going to do it for the news this week. I'm Jeremy Geckner. Head on over to the FrontRowMovieReviews.com where you can find all the other videos we do, like the box office report, reports, quick minute reviews, and of course all of our podcasts. We are in the midst of MonsterCast month. We've already released MonsterCast podcast on not only The Strangers, but also our very first MonsterCast of the month on 13 Ghosts, and now we are about to do one on The Descent, and we're going to close out the month on Halloween with the entire Scream franchise, so make sure you get in on that one. I'm Jeremy Geckner. This has been Front Row News, and as always, we will see you in the front row.